other guys will get minutes tonight. How valuable is it to get everybody in a rhythm and prepared for when you guys hit the play in and possibly postseason to have all those guys in a rhythm?
I think it's great. I think getting these guys opportunities in these moments, being able to play different type of minutes, different lineups, but also staying within the rhythm with that group that's going to help on the floor at night.
What went behind the decision just to kind of give those guys rest? I know you're still a little bit of a balance of preparing for the playoffs, kind of keeping guys sharp, but making sure they have some time to recover after the season.
3 and 4 nights. I think that was a big play, and a lot of it, the heavy minutes that these guys have been playing over this backstretch. So just being able to see that part of the schedule coming up.
Over the last few weeks, the lineup's been much more consistent. Obviously tonight guys are sitting out, but a lot of it's just been having a consistent lineup. How much has that helped? Really, since Corey entered the lineup, to have kind of the same playing groups and kind of that same rotation to help kind of turn the season around and finish the way you guys have.
It helps a ton. I mean, it helps not only the coaches, but also guys that are playing, understanding, ultimately when they're going in the game, when they can come out, barring there's different things that happen within a game with fouls or that guy gets hot or you get certain matchups, but the ability to have a consistent lineup is huge for the entire group.
You guys had that 1-6 homestand almost immediately after the All-Star break. You guys were 6 games below 500, and now you're back at 500 with a couple games to play. Just when a stretch like that can have such adverse effects late in the season, why did that for your group?
Well, I think because we had gone through it. I think that moment, what you just talked about, that 1-6 homestand, there's looking in the mirror, trying to figure some things out, hard conversations that need to be had. So when you are able to do that in those moments, it propels you forward because that means you've learned something from that lesson in those losses, in those games, which were all close games. So you're forced to look at certain things that you might not have had you won 2 or 3 of them. So that's a benefit of that moment happening.
We talked a little bit about it after you guys clinched the division on Wednesday, but what does it say about the maturity of this team to kind of have those hard truths when things weren't going to be easy? You had that 5-game road trip coming up. What does it say about the maturity of this group to rally when you had to kind of face this also?
I think just continued growth, and I think those moments have to happen within any season. If you're trying to do something special, trying to do something bigger each year, you have to go through those moments. And while you're in it, they're not fun, but the ability to bounce out of them and communicate the things that you see, the things that need to improve, the things you need to work on, and some things that were great within those moments that you didn't come out on the winning end. But being able to have those conversations and get through it is a great sign of growth for this group that learns from just some of these experiences that we've had.
You kind of touched earlier on the opportunity that this provides for the guys that don't normally get the larger share of minutes. Just what do you want to see from them in their share of minutes, whether it be tonight, Sunday, to kind of close the season, obviously, knowing that depth is important for the postseason?
I think the how we're playing in this time of year, how we're playing basketball, the defensive effort, the energy, the focus, the attention to game plan details, offensively sharing and moving the basketball, picking up the pace, all those little small things within our game, no matter who's on the floor, are you representing the way in which the Magic want to play.
And then for the guys that are resting, how do you go about the management of their workload, whether it be in shoot-around practices, trying to keep them fresh, but obviously knowing that those reps aren't going to replicate what they see in a game?
Yeah, there's nothing like game reps, but again, within their slots and their shooting times and getting on the floor, you're going at game speed as best as you can, and I think those are going to be very important. But it's a difficult balance at times to make sure you get the right recovery at the proper time, but also staying in the game shape.
Just obviously the Pacers are going to be sitting there 5 starters as well. Is there value in the fact that you guys are both kind of approaching this the same way, basically, and that sort of both teams are kind of in a similar position of playing second unit guys, maybe guys that don't get as many minutes, then it's kind of even, I guess, in a way. Is there value in that?
There's always value in guys getting opportunities to be on the floor. I think you can't replicate the game reps. I think it's just so important that it's the experience that they get, the opportunity that they get to show what they're capable of doing. Also, if you're playing the right style of basketball.